This video and others like it are funded by viewers like you. Thanks for your support. Okay, the United States has released Alex Saab, friend of Nicolas Maduro, in exchange for 10 United States hostages that have been held in Venezuela. Follow along.
You're watching DC-born Rob, Erasing Borders. And now, news.
Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC-born Rob, Erasing Borders. This video is more so news for expats who live there that want to know what's going on, and anybody who cares about international news as well. This has to do with the United States and Venezuela. Of course, Venezuela is closely tied, let's say, to Colombia, but you need to know what's going on. So let's jump into this story right away. Saab, wild card in a deal between the U.S. and Venezuela. What did each country gain from its liberation? Joe Biden released Alex Saab, and his Venezuelan counterpart, Nicolas Maduro, did the same with 10 American citizens. 2 years and 2 months had to pass before Alex Saab, the Colombian businessman accused by the United States of being a frontman for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, could freely embrace his children and his wife Camila Fabry. He did so when he got off the plane at the Mequisha airport in Venezuela after the United States government granted him a pardon, which was more of an exchange for U.S. citizens after being accused by a Florida court of money laundering for President Maduro. The people receive him with pride after having suffered 3.5 years of illegal detention under cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment, said Maduro, and Saab, dressed in black pants and a white shirt, squeezed the hand of the Venezuelan president who he once sheltered him under his protection, so much so that on the day of his arrest in Cape Verde in 2020, the Venezuelan government denounced the kidnapping of an ambassador of his country. But the release of Alex Saab by the United States was not a good deed like that done by the Boy Scouts. The pardon and subsequent release of Maduro's so-called shadow minister was a strategic move made by Biden and represented a win-win for both countries. What did the United States seek? From the moment of his capture in 2020, Saab became something of a lucky charm for the United States. The businessman from Barranquilla, close to Maduro since the time of Hugo Chavez, when he began his rise in relations with that government, and went from being a simple keychain seller to his consented contractor, was the master key for Joe Biden to open the door to a denied negotiation with Venezuela, in which the U.S. government requested on several occasions the release of 10 of its citizens and 14 other imprisoned political prisoners in exchange for lifting its sanctions against that country. Without an affirmative answer for a long time, Biden took out his ace up his sleeve and proposed to Maduro the freedom for his bishop, in exchange for the freedom of his compatriots. Reuniting unjustly detained Americans with their loved ones has been a priority for my administration from day one, Biden said in a statement. And so it was that while Saab touched Venezuelan lands, 10 American citizens were released from Venezuelan prisons, including Luke Alexander Denman and Aaron Berry, sentenced to 20 years in prison for the failed attempted incursion into Venezuela, and 14 other Venezuelan political prisoners. We are happy for the families of Luke, Aaron, and the other Americans. However, we ask for the freedom of the 290 political prisoners who still remain in Venezuela. Ana Leonor Acosta, a member of the Coalition for Human Rights and Democracy, an NGO in charge of handling many of the cases of the prisoners, expressed on the social network X Political Prisoners. The United States movement also shows that, perhaps, it wants to strengthen its relations with Venezuela, since it would not hurt to take away an important ally in Latin America from Russia, China, and Iran. What Venezuela won. But if Alex Saab was a lucky charm for the United States, he also became a kind of bargaining chip for Venezuela. With his release and deportation to the Venezuelan country, Maduro and other officials felt the rest that comes with the assurance that Saab would not open his mouth in the United States. The U.S. prosecutor's office had him in their sights and even accused him, along with his partner Alvaro Pulido, of being immersed in a network of corruption that affected the state oil company PDVSA, in which both were accused of transferring $350 million obtained fraudulently to the United States financial system to give them legality. According to the prosecutor's office of that country, Saab fulfilled the role of informant before the DEA, and in his collaborations he had revealed the payment of bribes to Venezuelan officials, something that kept Maduro and other heavyweights in his government up at night. With this background, the Venezuelan president had made Saab's release a condition in exchange for unblocking negotiations with his country's opposition, a first step that was taken in October when an agreement was signed in Barbados for presidential elections, competitive in 2024, and in turn, Biden partially lifted the sanctions on Venezuelan oil, gold, and gas. The move of both countries is, in the eyes of journalist Roberto Dennis, who has investigated the Saab case in depth, a strategy that goes beyond a political move. Unfortunately, with the exchange, which is more of a political negotiation, justice takes a backseat and the United States ruins years of investigation against Saab for money laundering. Dennis told AFP, adding that Venezuela recovers the manhinge for business between Maduro and countries like Russia and Iran. Okay, so you're up to date as of today, Thursday, December 21st. This is the latest international news for Colombia. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of the flight crew, thank you for flying with us and have a pleasant day.
Okay, hold on, guys. Right quick. Remember, Christmas is coming in less than 2 weeks right now. If you need to have things shipped to Colombia, shipped to someone else, or shipped to yourself to Colombia from the United States, make sure you reach out to CaribbeanShipper.com. CaribbeanShipper.com. The contact information is coming next. Join me on social media. I am DC Born Rob Official on Instagram. I am DC Born Rob Official 1 on TikTok. I am DC Born Rob O on Twitter. Don't be like this guy right here.
You're just so stupid. I had to send you a video to let you know you're so stupid.
That's right. Don't be like this guy right here. Join me on social media. Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below.
Thanks for hitting like. You did the right thing by hitting like. Thanks for hitting like. DC Born Rob.